This is the L2C Media Network, and this is the BAXLEY Sports Final brought to you by the L2C Media Network. Why can't we find a sponsor? Come on, somebody sponsor us. Now, with the headlines and details in the wacky world of sports, sort of subdued for a Monday, here's our buddy, Steve BAXLEY. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome. And what a night, what a day, what a world. No, I'm not in love. I'm just in sports. Folks, we got a lot for you tonight, including a little question for all of you. And I'm going to kill off this first one. Thank you. So I don't get a copyright strike for just a few moments. We got some questions for you. What is your favorite Halloween treat? SB Nation. No, is it on SB Nation? I do believe it is. Yeah, SB Nation has a little contest for the world's favorite treat for Halloween. Now, you're probably asking yourself, am I going to dress up for Halloween? Maybe. I don't know. Really, I don't know what is going to happen for Halloween here where our studios are, but we're sure going to give it a shot. I'm going to try. I do know one thing. I got to send my cat in my room and shut the door because, Halloween, black cats. She's an indoor cat, but still, better to be safe than sorry. Anyway, it's better to be on time for this. It's sports. And let's get to it because we got a lot of sports news. And by the way, we're on time for a change. That's shocking. Well, at least for one day or night. Time for some headlines. You like? No, I'm not doing a Borat commercial. Thank God for that. Anyway, let's get to it. One of 4 NFL reports we do, and yes, well, a 5th one as well. 4.5. We'll do that, plus some sports leftovers for you. Okay, here we go. At 2-5 on the season and the November 3rd trade deadline fast approaching, the Dallas Cowboys are putting at least one big name on the trading block. Jerry Jones's club has made it known throughout the league that veteran defensive end Everson Griffin is available via trade, as confirmed by Patrick Walker of CBS Sports. Griffin has about half of his $6 million salary remaining for the season, per NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, which makes him an even more attractive commodity for teams looking to bolster its pass rusher for the big old stretch run. Griffin is in the midst of his first season with the Cowboys after signing with the club in mid-August following a decade-long tenure with the Minnesota Vikings. Through 7 games this season, the 32-year-old has played in 56.43% of Dallas's defensive snaps and totaled 20 tackles, 6 quarterback hits, and 2.5 sacks. During his final season with the Vikings in 2019, Griffin was named to the Pro Bowl after recording 8 sacks and 24 quarterback hits. That's not bad, is it? No, that's not. While Dallas may be selling on Griffin halfway into his tenure with the team, they do have options to replace him after Randy Gregory was able to return to game action for the first time since his reinstatement. The team also could try and bring along 2025th round pick Bradley Anai, who was inactive for Week 7 after suiting up in all 6 of Dallas's games to begin the year. As for what they possibly get as compensation for Griffin, don't expect them to break the bank. It would seem unlikely that a deal sends him out of town. Would be anything more than a late day 3 pick given Griffin's age and contract situation. All righty. Let's give it to you, little puppies. More headlines, more details, more sports news. And another story in the NFL. Apparently, we have the fashion police back in the mind of Jeff Garcia. The New England Patriots were no match for the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday as they got blown out 33-6 in the fourth quarter. With the game out of reach, head Bill Belichick elected to pull quarterback Cam Newton in favor of second-year signal caller Jarrett Stidham. Following the game, former 49ers quarterback Jeff Garcia, who works as a studio analyst for NBC Sports Bay Area, went off on what he believes is on of Newton's biggest problem, his wardrobe. That's right. Here's what Garcia said, quote, "You go into this game with 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. You threw, 3 more interceptions? You get yanked in the second half. There's nothing good going your way. Why are you dressing like that? To bring more attention to yourself? I'd be trying to have equipment managers put me in your jock sock cart and sneak me in the back door. I'll show up on the field and do the best I can." Wow. What a man, what a man, what a mighty, mighty man. NBC Sports Bay Area initially posted Garcia's rant on their Twitter account, but guess what? It was taken down. Now, Garcia added, "This just goes back to a couple of years of just watching this guy and seeing him at the podium, but yet what he's doing on the field does not translate to being that guy," Garcia added in the clip. Not everyone was on board with Garcia's odd take. Eric Thompson said, "Not sure Jeff should be offering fashion advice, to be honest." Kyle offered this advice: "Imagine thinking how you would dress affects how you play." At Sports Life 4 said, "He's criticizing his clothes. Clown behavior." Now, Newton definitely has his fair share of struggles during Sunday's game. The Patriots signal caller completed 9 of 15 for just 98 yards and 3 interceptions. None of that is directly connected to his pre- and post-game wardrobe. Following the game, Belichick confirmed that the Patriots are sticking with Newton as the team's starting quarterback. Yes, I'd like to see how Garcia would dress in the next his next position. I kind of like the way Cam Newton is outfitted. It shows his creativity, and he's just having a bit of fun. I mean, come on. How many people would get away with stuff like that? Only Cam Newton would. There you go. Well, I think some others would. It's called individuality. Look it up in your funkin' wagnalls. All right, let's keep going here. This is going to have fun. Yes, indeed. Speaking of which, it's not as bad as his infamous double doink. Hi there. Can we try that again? Double doink during the 2018 NFC wildcard on Sunday. Parkey is the Browns kicker now. On Sunday's game against the Bengals, Cleveland took a 3-point lead with 11 seconds remaining thanks to a Baker Mayfield touchdown pass to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Parkey had a chance to give the Browns a 4-point lead and, in the process, make certain bettors very happy because the spread in most sports books for the game was 3.5. However, Parkey completely pushed the extra point attempt wide, so instead of the Browns taking a 4-point lead and converting the spread, the missed kick assured that the Bengals covered instead. It's not as bad as missing a kick in the playoffs and having your season end, but the missed PAT still upset a lot of people who had wagered on the Browns covering. David Shimon said, "Cody Parker really just turned my -3 Browns into a push. Unreal. Bad bait." Joe Downey, he had this to say on Twitter, of course. Cody Parkey, thanks, man. That missed extra point only cost me a couple of foul. No problem. How about Ben Axelrod? What did he say? I feel like we aren't talking enough about Cody Parkey missing the extra point to cover the spread yesterday. Nothing like a missed PAT messing up your potential $1,500 parlay. This from Seth Corwin. Talk about a bad beat. The Browns kicker missing that extra point ruins my chance at 1,500. The game had several lead changes and had bettors on the edge of their seats throughout, so tensions were definitely high. However, Parkey is public enemy number one in the sports betting world after this missed opportunity. What is it that Dan O'Toole always says when you're thinking about betting things? Always bet the under. Anyway, maybe somebody should have bet the under. Or was it bet the over? I don't know. I've never betted. Anyway, it's 11:45. Let's do a commercial first, and then we'll go back and finish this whole thing up without nauseating interruptions, which means, folks, it's time for me to do a cheesy plug for Nick Rekieta. Yes, friends, tonight it's Monday, and that means one thing. Nick Rekieta, the humble Minnesota attorney. Yes, that's English for lawyer, has his usual show tonight, Lost Blaming the Interwebs, for all to see, hear, and just take in with every breath and every drink of whiskey. In fact, where's my little friend? Anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. On tonight's edition of the Lost Blaming the Interwebs, Nick and his guest will talk about ACB being confirmed for SCOTUS, Floyd musings, and Legal Eagle is an idiot. Shine on Harvest Moon. So, join Nick tonight, midnight Eastern Time, for Lost Blaming the Interwebs, the most funnest 3 hours you'll have with your clothes on. And now, saying that, let's get back to what we do for a living, which is, of course, sports. Shall we? We shall. Okay, let's keep going with more sports news for your blues. And here we go. Yes. By the way, we have made it official. Monday Night QB will be now Tuesday Night QB. There we go. So we'll give it to you. That way we'll have everything all nice, neat, and straightened out. And we'll give you an update on the Rabbi's picks, Uno's picks, my mom's picks, and my picks. So far, Mom's back in the lead, but not by much. Will Uno or I catch up? Well, we'll find out. Week 7 scores coming up tomorrow. Now, winning does fix everything, and that's precisely why the Cowboys are so broken right now. Currently sitting with their heads in their hands at 2-5 on the year, following a 25-3 massacre at the hands of the Washingtons. Every expectation the Cowboys had of being a contender in 2020 is seemingly out the door. Now, that said, there's still value in playing for self and each other going forward. But now, there are questions on if the latter is still a thing for Dallas. And why hasn't the party bus been souped up yet when they win, if they win? Now, in the aforementioned loss to Washington, Andy Dalton gave himself up on a slide that ended with John Bostic delivering a brutally illegal blow to the head in the third quarter that knocked off Dalton's helmet and put him out of the game for good. Bostic was ejected from the contest and reportedly will not face suspension. That, in my terminology, is pure BS. he should face suspension for what he did. But all that is only part of the story. As Dalton was helped up, woozy, and having no recollection of what had just occurred, there wasn't a single Cowboy player overcome with anger enough to let Bostic know about it. Instead, with Dalton removed and rookie backup Ben DiNucci inserted, everyone simply went on as if nothing happened. That doesn't sit well with head coach Mike McCarthy, who was admittedly surprised at the lack of reaction and didn't mince words when he spoke to the media about the incident following the game. And you're ready for this. This is what he told the media. We speak all the time about playing for one another, protecting one another. It definitely was not the response you would expect. End quote. Now, for his part, Ezekiel Elliott understands the side eyes from those who would have preferred the offense didn't turn the other cheek after seeing Dalton get brutalized, but he noted players wouldn't help the team by getting a chip for retaliating. Ezekiel Elliott said via Sharian Williams of Pro Football Talk, the criticism for lack of retaliation is fair, but with doing that, you got to be careful. We got to find a way to not cross that line, but we still got to protect our guys, end quote. Now, with recent news of a riff in the locker room that presumably began with a defensive connect, which has since festered to the point where anonymous players are placing the blame for the downtrodden season on the coaches, the lack of reaction to the hit on Dalton combines with McCarthy's very public condemnation of it to make for a picture that's growing darker by the week. And with the team having to continue without Dak Prescott, whose perennial all-star guard Zach Martin labeled as the heart and soul of the organization, it is indeed time to question the level of solidarity in the Cowboys locker room or lack therein. Time and again since he entered the league in 2016 when Prescott was the victim of a questionable hit, there was zero hesitation by offensive players to rush to his defense. But when Dalton got his helmet knocked off and momentarily blacked out and fell limp, not a peep or a stir. Interpret as you will. Now, to be fair, Elliott has a point in that being ejected helps no one. That said, sending the message to the opposition that they can get away with headhunting your quarterback without so much as a stern look doesn't help the team either. If anything, it hurts both literally and figuratively speaking. And maybe there's more to this than we know. A little worried as well. In college basketball, well, ESPN had a good idea. Unfortunately, it wasn't that bright of an idea. That's right. Several early season college basketball tournaments and multi-team events that were going to be held in Orlando, Florida at the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in Walt Disney World have been canceled, according to ESPN, which was staging the games. The scuttling of the plans to play the tournaments and events in an NBA-like bubble comes after what The Athletic reports were ongoing differences between the network and the participating schools over COVID-19 health and safety protocols required for participation, costing dozens of programmed games just a month before the season is scheduled to start. ESPN said in a statement Monday afternoon, ESPN events set out to create a protected environment for teams to participate in early season events in Orlando. Based on certain challenges surrounding testing protocols, we opted to resume those tournaments during the 21-22 season. End quote. Now, calling off plans for the games in the Orlando bubble impacts 10 total events owned by the worldwide leader in total sports network. And more than 24 teams in total that were expected to participate, according to The Athletic. Among the events impacted include the Jimmy V Classic, the Champions Classic, and the Orlando Invitational. Now it's unclear if the Champions Classic and the Jimmy V Classic doubleheaders will be canceled. However, or if the events will be played elsewhere. How those are handled could impact Duke, Michigan State, Kansas, and Kentucky, the teams involved in the Champions Classic. The Athletic reported that Virginia, Florida State, and Texas Tech were among the dozens of teams who had games canceled less than a month before the 2020-2021 season begins on November 25th. The disagreement between the schools expected to participate in the Orlando bubble and ESPN came over how stringent the protocols would be, according to Matt Norlander of CBS Sports. The Athletic reported that ESPN put forth guidelines that fall in line with the Centers for Disease Control and the NCAA, which are more restrictive than the protocols many conferences are planning to implement. End quotation. There was also a disagreement on how to handle COVID-19 positive players and how frequently players who recovered from the virus must be tested. Now, whether or not some of these tests get rescheduled or not, though, the fact that multi-team events a month out from the start of their season are being canceled or pushed elsewhere is not a good sign. Schools planning to play in the events now canceled must scramble to fill schedules elsewhere on short notice. There's at least some behind-the-scenes momentum to move to a conference-only schedule for this season amidst last-minute chaos. Welcome to college basketball and most of sports in the era of COVID. To be continued, most assuredly. 11:56 right now in the Hemisphere of Joy. Let's talk Super Bowl odds, kids. And here we go. Here's what happens when you compare Super Bowl odds from William Hill Sportsbook with some simulations from the folks at Sportsline. And here's what happens when you have to stall for a bit, because the browser you're using is actually not responding. Now it is. Yay. It takes embarrassing it, doesn't it? Yes, it does. The Steelers and the Seahawks' overtime loss in primetime are the NFL's last undefeated team to know. And the projection model also sees the Steelers as a good value to win the Super Bowl at their current odds from William Hill Sportsbook. That'll make Terry Bradshaw happy, don't you think? Now, the Steelers' Week 8 opponent, the Ravens, are also considered a good Super Bowl value. Baltimore, the AFC's top seed last season before it was upset by the Titans in the divisional round of the playoffs, is 5-1 and coming off a Week 7 bye. Now, while the Chiefs still have the highest percentage among AFC teams to reach the Super Bowl, they no longer possess value from a betting standpoint. The reason, according to Sportsline data scientist Stephen is the emergence of the Steelers, as well as Kansas City's remaining schedule, which includes Dolphins, Raiders, and Chargers. Now, those factors hurt the Chiefs' chances at claiming the number one seed entering the playoffs. The number one seed has even more significance than in years past, as it will be the only team from each conference that will get the playoff bye after the playoff field was increased from 12 to 14. The Chiefs, the AFC's number 2 seed in 2019, received the bye last year before defeating Houston and Tennessee in the AFC playoffs. If this year's playoff format existed then, the Chiefs would have instead hosted the 8-8 Steelers in the wildcard round. Sunday's loss dropped the Titans' Super Bowl odds from 5.7 to 4.3%. Tennessee, however, still has an 81% chance to win the division at minus 210, which is a 67.7% odds. Another previously undefeated team that saw its Super Bowl odds dip was the Seahawks, who fell to the Cardinals on Sunday night. Seattle Super Bowl odds dropped from 12.2% to 9.1%. The Packers, a week after suffering their first loss of the season in Tampa, did not see their odds rise that much after defeating the Texans at Houston. Green Bay's Super Bowl odds did improve, however, from just under 4% to 4.8. That percentage, according to O, is not a good value at plus 1100 or 8.3% odds. Now, speaking of the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay is now good value to win Super Bowl 55 after defeating the Raiders on Sunday, and with the upcoming signing of former All-Pro receiver Antonio Brown. Let's hope he's the repentant Antonio Brown. Tampa Bay is now at 11.4% and plus 850 or 10.5% odds. Tom Brady's former team, the Patriots, are not in a good spot after losing to the 49ers on Sunday to drop to 2-4 on the season. New England's AFC chances fell from 35% to just 11%, and their playoff percentage dropped from 50.6% to just 20%. The Patriots' odds fell from plus 3,500 or 2.8% to plus 5,000, just 2%. And at just 0.2% in simulations. The Patriots are not a good value pick at this point in the season. Now, let's take a look at the current Super Bowl odds according to William Hill Sportsbook and how that translates to percent chances as well as sports line simulations. Kansas City Chiefs plus 400, 20% or, and that's Super Bowl odds, and win Super Bowl simulation and percentage, 18.22. Baltimore Ravens at plus 600 or 14.3% to win the Super Bowl simulation, 17.75%. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we won't do the pluses and minus. We'll just go straight percentage. 10.5% to win the Super Bowl simulation, 11.39%. Pittsburgh Steelers, 10%. 12.79% to win the Super Bowl simulation. Seattle Seahawks, 91%, 9.07% to win Super Bowl simulation. And if you want further, just go to CBSSports.com, the NFL's page. By the way, for those of you that care, the Detroit Lions, 1.2%, less than 20% to win the Super Bowl. There you go. And wow. That is your NFL Shindigless report. Okay, we are at 2 minutes past the hour of midnight. And we're going to do what we usually do on a Monday night, and that's give you a little looky-loo at our wrestling report. Should be fun. That's right. Time for our wrestling report. We're doing the wrestling report because, and is she up there again? Nope. Okay. Somewhere she is. Let's get you the raw results. Should be fun. We'll just give you the results and not the caca. Results, not the bull. Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles won the match. Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak versus the Lucha House Party, and the Lucha House Party won that match. Yay. We had a Firefly Funhouse bit. And, well, let's just get going here. Team Raw Survivor Series qualifier, Elias versus Keith Lee. Maybe with luck, won't say that. Keith Lee did. There you go. It was a tag team elimination match, the Hurt Business versus a watered-down Retribution. Gee, winner by DQ, the Hurt Business. That's a night. That's a good night. Drew McIntyre took on took on the Miz, and this is obviously your main event. And the winner was Drew McIntyre. Wow. Now, a fatal four-way for the final Team Raw spot. Lana took on Lacey Evans versus Peyton Royce versus Nikki Cross. And we might as well say it. Lana didn't win. Or did she? Nope. Yes, Lana did win. Maybe there is hope yet. then again, right. Team Raw Survivor Series qualifier, Matt Riddle took on Sheamus. Gee, who won that one, you may ask? Sheamus. We then had Randy Orton wanting the Fiend. Funny. And there you go, your Monday Night Raw, which was rather not exactly. Anyway, let's continue with the wrestling report. AEW has announced 15 matches for this week's Dark Tuesday nights on their YouTube channel. So, what are the matches? The AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida takes on Layla Hirsch. Diamante and Ivelisse versus Kylan King and Savannah Evans. Anna Jay of the Dark Order takes on Catalina Perez. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson of the Dark Order versus Top Flight. 10 of the Dark Order versus Sean Maluda. Sonny Kiss takes on Aaron Solo. Darby Allin will take on Alex Chamberlain. Matt Sydal versus Lee Johnson. Will Hobbs takes on Nick Camaroto. Brandon Cutler taking on Peter Avalon. Ricky Starks versus VSK. FTW champion Brian Cage versus Fuego del Sol. Best Friends takes on Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian of SCU take on the Hybrid 2. Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt of Jurassic Express takes on Danny Limelight and Jersey Muscle. So you can catch all of that action tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern on AEW's YouTube channel. 7 minutes before the hour, or 7 minutes past the hour of midnight Eastern time. Yes. And did we do this or did we not? We did not do this? Well, let's do it because we didn't get a chance to do it on Jay's little show, on Jay's Spreaker show, the Wrestle Anime Hut. So let's bring you up to date as to the ratings between AEW and NXT, courtesy of Showbuzz Daily. Yes, let's do it. We're still live. That's okay. I know you got to do crossword puzzles, but I got to do this. Well, no, I do an hour show. Nope, it's an hour preparation. Okay, let's give you the where is it now? Boys, girls, cats, kittens, frogs. No, do we have the ratings this week for let's go last week. Don't you just love the fact that when you ask for the ratings, no, not the anniversary show. No, we don't do that. We don't do that shtick here. Huh. Okay, let's get to the Daily Maw if we can. And by the way, Showbuzz Daily, run by Mitch Metcalf. Good person. Anyway, let's see if be the 21st. Would it not? Yes, it would. Okay, give us a brief monument to do we have Thursday or not Thursday? It would be Thursday, wouldn't it? Wednesday. Thank you, Boson. Okay. The top 150 cable blah blah blahs and hoopy doopies. Well, this is something you never see, but here we go. As we look fourth and or look fifth, we have about 150, but we got to find out where exactly. WWE NXT was 56th in the top 150. Meanwhile, where was AEW? You may ask, you may inquire, you may have a problem. Well, get this. You're going to love it. You know that Broadway little shindig that MJF and Chris Jericho did? It helped put AEW All Elite Wrestling Dynamite 13th place in the top 150 cable shows. It beat NXT. Has Vince learned his lesson yet? I doubt severely, but congratulations, AEW. You have proved that anything can beat Vince McMahon. Even the Broadway musical Steak Dinner, which some people thought was a little ridiculous, but I thought personally was genius. It's fun to parody, but great to watch. Now that we've had that, let's go back to something that we all know a whole lot about, and that is sports. That's right. It's 12:12, which means we're getting near the end of the road here. So let's do what we do normally. And let's give out the shout outs before we go to the scoreboard. And a reminder, Tuesday night, we have the football reviews. So please join us for that. That's going to be exciting, fun, insane, but good. Okay, let's say hello once again. Angela Peterson, Christina Peterson, Anne-Marie Mann, Yuki Tanaka, Jay the Brain Man, Matthew Nichols, Jerry Nichols, Nancy Nichols, Ricky Pickrell, Brenda Dixon, Yvonne Marie, Brenda Gaminsky, Sharon BAXLEY, Uno, the Mouse Assassin, Alan Oberoff, Tony Pickrell, Michael Pickrell, how you feeling, sir? Amy Hayes, Frida Hayes, Morris Hayes, Sammy Phillips, Samantha O'Neill, Casey Ann, Monica Cram, Marielle Lou from Fox 2, Bobby Langford, Sandra Douglas, Vanessa Douglas, Sabrina Kyle. Who else? Crystal Hart. And, of course, we say to thee upon thy souls, we say, ha-ha, hee-hee, ho-ho. Jeff Rollo, Marley Wiley, George Templeton. Let's see, Jeff Rollo, Marley Wiley, George Templeton, Blind Lemon, and, of course, Dale Sankey, Nellie K9, Mrs. Nellie K9, all my friends in Australia and beyond, from thebasement.com.au to other chat rooms in other places throughout the area. Yes. And we also say hi to Soraya Fidel, January J. Keaton, and Little Dixie. How are you? Mike Sparks, a good human, a good guy. Leonard Brand, Rebecca Symbolic, Chris Lewis, Chris French, Bobby Strauss, Ronald Abraham, Todd Clamfer, Stephen Miller, John Linder Jr., Joseph Yusuf, Diaz, Kadim, Zaire, Muhammad, Kimberly Butler, Kimberly Wells, Deborah Hilliker, Rod Street, Hilda Clark Bowen, Heather Dibble Austin, Amanda Burns, Regina Lewis, Rebecca Nicole Pettis, Brian McFeeters, Deshaun Whipple, Ralph Gaultier, Tyke Prado, Wesley Snell, the lovely Liberty Lang, Brutal Metzler, Sarah Chavez, of course. Who melts? But an awesome potion indeed. And that potion is a very nice angel who just happens to go by the name of Angel. So, hello, Angel. How are you? Angel Orsini. Howdy. Hope everything is well. Hello, Eddie Farhat. We miss your wrestling promotion very much. Our sympathies, respects, love, and heart go to you and your family. Tom is truly now amongst the angels in heaven, working on the ultimate wrestling card featuring Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan on play-by-play. Anyway, Zach Burton, how you doing? And happy birthday, Alan Oberoff and Megan Nadeau. How you do? Okay, we got some Twitter. That's right. We got hellos on Twitter to make, and we do so with, of course, the kind of respect that is always welcomed indeed. Kellyanne Collins, Sarah Ann Underwood, how you doing? That's correct. That's right. How you doing, Wyatt Holiday, Peter Gilmore, Charlie's London? How you doing, Jan? Let's keep the home flesh going. How you doing, Stats? How you doing, Lucy Nolan? How you doing, peeps? And to the lovely, let's put it this way, baboom. Elaine Boozler, hi. How is you? How is you doing? Lydia Cornell, I hope you weren't kidding. You are working on a reboot of Too Close to for Comfort. I'm hoping you get it. I mean, it's going to be impossible to find someone like Ted Knight. I mean, the original will always be the best, and I know reboots they got to be a little different while still tipping a chapeau to the original. Skull. And I do believe in the words, they did find that lightning in a bottle, but there's also another old saying that goes, lightning has a way of striking twice. Lena Gwynn, hi there. Mandy Summers, can't believe I won a shirt, but I did. Beth McLeod, how do? And Brad Shepard, indeed, a pleasure and an honor. Okay, Charlie's London. Now, let's take you on the from the Twitter side. To all my friends on Twitter and Facebook, hi. Over to the gram. Over to the gram. Yeah. Over to the gram. Yeah. Over to the gram, ladies and gents. To the gram we go. And we're here at the gram. How do the Portia Coleman? How do the Friend Jones? Courtney Lynn Elwood? And Claudia Treos, Stacy Hayes, to Linda Steele, to Dorothy Malone, and I gotta tell you, all my friends on the gram, how you doing? Hopefully everything is going well with you and yours and them and ours. Okay, that's gonna wrap things up with the shout outs. You know what's left for us to do? Oh, by the way, just to do some unfinished business, NASCAR had to cancel the Texas race due to inclement weather. They're hoping to get it all done tomorrow. Do we have the time tomorrow on NBCSN, guys? Okay, it's popping up on screen. Okay, it's popping up on my screen. We'll Doo-doo whack-a-doo-doo. On noon Eastern, thank you. The round of 8 playoff race, Tuesday, noon Eastern, on NBCSN, and if I'm not mistaken, I do believe the Motor Racing Network, or it's a Performance Racing Network for Texas. Well, either one, you'll have a radio coverage. So there you go. And the weather for Texas, well, not exactly a happy weather report. Let's just put it that way. A little rain in the area right now. Clint Boyer is in the lead, and this could definitely put some upset in the playoff standings, because right now, the round of 8, of course, the 8 are Kurt Busch, Truex Jr., Bowman, Elliott, number 5, Keselowski, Hamlin, Harvick, and Logano. Those are the 10. And when that is done, we have Big 8. I mean, we don't have Big 8. We got the 8, excuse. And after the 8, there comes the 4. So noon Eastern on NBCSN tomorrow. But we race merrily along. How do we race merrily along? Well, we're just going to give you a little cheeky headline from Awful. Then we're popping right into the board of scores. Should be something good and interesting. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah, we already done that. Thank you, Awful Announcing, for the heads up. And thanks to our gang in the socially distanced control room. Okay, roses are red, violets are blue. Let's stop this talking. The scoreboard is what you seek, and we do too. So here it is, 12:22. It's scoreboard time. Let's rock it in. Shallst we? We shallst indeed. Yeah. I said scoreboard, not ESPN. Thank you, boys. Let's get it in right proper. Shallst we? We shallst. There we are. We got the scoreboard. And of course, we do soccer, baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it, we do it for you. And yeah, for you, the home viewer. So, with that intoned, let's get her started, shall we? I think we shall. Yes, we shall. Good. Didn't do that bad. By the way, tomorrow, game number 6. Tampa wins. We go to the full plate of Game 7. LA wins, and LA becomes the City of Champions once more. So here we go. We have the Suker, and we got everything else for you. Let's kick it. In the Premier League, Brighton and West Brom played to a 1-1 tie. Tottenham defeated Burnley 1-0. In the Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen defeated Augsburg 3-1. In Series A from Italia, AC Milan and AS Roma ended in 3-3 tie. And in La Liga Español, Celta Vigo and Levante also ended in a 1-1 tie. So now, let's bring you some baseball. But we can't. Would you like to know why? Because both the Japanese and the Korean baseball leagues, respectfully, had the day off. They'll be back on the morrow. So we are absolutely done. That's right. You heard me. We are fini for tonight. We got about 5 minutes left. So, there we go. So 5 minutes left. How are we going to spend it? Simple. We're going to say goodnight. Thanks, everybody. Hey, we're low budget here. We're going to try to get high budget soon, but please watch this space. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching, and we will talk to you all tomorrow after Game 6 of the World Series. It may be inextinguishable, but we're going to pull for Tampa. We got to have a 7-game World Series once in a while, you know. But thanks anyway for everybody here. I'm Steve the Baxman BAXLEY, as always, hoping that whomever you love in sports, whomever your favorite team is, they will always be winners. Good night, America, wherever and whomever you are. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports and YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, it's now Tuesday night quarterback right here on the Sports Final. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I was wrong on the time change. It's this Saturday, not last Saturday. This Saturday. Consider last Saturday a practice round. Look it up. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Good night. God bless. Blessings to all. And to all, a good night.